Lesson 155. I will step back and let him lead the way. Welcome to the Qigong support for A Course in Miracles students. I am Judith and you're at the Lucid Mind Center. And how this is going to work, we're going to read this Course in Miracles lesson together. We're going to contemplate it together. And at the end, I will suggest a couple of Qigong classes which are suitable for you to apply this lesson to. And before we start, make sure to subscribe to my channel so more Course in Miracles students can find me and our community can grow. And let me know where you're watching from, how long you've been with the Course in Miracles, and what ideas and thought does it arise, our contemplation together. Before we start today, let's connect. Today is a Monday, so let's connect with the heavenly source, with our higher self. Let's connect. Let's become aware that this body belongs to this earth according to Taoism. And our mind belongs to the universe, belongs to the divine source. And we are having here a human experience. And much of our misery comes because we have got our ideas distorted. So let's just connect to the earth in Qigong and then breathe up. Connect down, exhale. Let's anchor our body into this earth, remembering, and sink our awareness deep within us, as the Course in Miracles is suggesting. Sink deep past our belt of fear, past our negative emotions, and back into the awareness of our true self, of that what we truly are. Let's begin. Lesson 155. I will step back and let him lead the way. There is a way of living in the world that is not here, although it seems to be. I just watched a Instagram post of a father talking about his children and saying that they are not here, that they're living in a different dimension. It's a bit like that. There is a way of living in the world that is not here, although it seems to be. You do not change appearance, though you smile more frequently. Your forehead is serene, your eyes are quiet, and the ones who walk the world as you do recognize their own. So the ones which are the same as you, who have gained the serenity, who have understood they are more than that, just a physical body, who have understood that they are actually extensions of God, who understand that they are spiritual beings, they recognize you and you recognize them. Yet those who have not yet perceived the way will recognize you also and believe that you are like them as you were before. And that is because you're smiling, because you're kind and you're benevolent, and they will feel it. People feel your benevolence. The world is an illusion. Those who choose to come to it are seeking for a place where there can be illusions and avoid their own reality. Yet when they find their own reality is even here, then they step back and let it lead the way. Let me repeat this. Those who choose to come to it are seeking for a place where they can be illusions and avoid their own reality with a capital R. Yet when they find their own reality, again with a capital R, that their reality is even here, then they step back and let that reality, that true reality, lead the way. What other choice is really theirs to make? To let illusions walk ahead of truth is madness, but to let illusion sink behind the truth and let the truth stand forth as what it is simple sanity. And in this book, which is the sparkly edition of A Course in Miracles, the word simple is with a capital S, is simple sanity. This is the simple choice we make today. The mad illusion will remain a while in evidence for those to look upon who choose to come and have not yet rejoiced to find the way they were mistaken in the choice. They cannot learn directly from the truth because they have denied that it is so. So they deny that there is a truth. So they cannot learn from it because they have kind of said this doesn't exist. And so they need a teacher who perceives their madness, but who still can look beyond illusion to the simple truth in them. If truth demanded they give up the world, it would appear to them as if it asked the sacrifice of something that is real. Many have chosen to renounce the world while still believing its reality, and they have suffered from a sense of loss and have not been released accordingly. Let me just repeat that sentence. Many have chosen to renounce the world while still believe its reality. This is, I find, many Course in Miracles students have done. Many have chosen to renounce the world while still believe its reality, and they have suffered from a sense of loss and have not been released accordingly. So also when you're denying it, when you say this is an illusion, and then you say, oh, the whole world is an illusion, instead of realizing the world I see is an illusion. The world I see, it's about the way I'm looking at it, the way I perceive things, the way I choose to perceive things. That is an illusion. To say everything is an illusion and not understanding that it's got to do with you, that you're projecting it outwards, you're gonna have a deep sense of loss and not gonna be released accordingly. And like we have said yesterday, when you choose to become a minister of God and you get those messages, you deliver these messages to people. This happens to me a lot. When I'm delivering the message, because I need you to understand something, it always seems to me that I'm actually delivering this message for myself. So I am grateful for you to be there, because that way I have to translate the message which is coming to me somehow. It's like an instinct, like a feeling inside. But as I'm translating it to you, as I am putting it into words, I start to understand it myself. So thank you for being here. Many have chosen to renounce the world while still believing its reality, and they have suffered from a sense of loss and have not been released accordingly. Others have chosen nothing but the world. They only believe in the world. They only believe in this reality. They think that when the body dies, that's it. We disappear into oblivion. And they have suffered from a sense of loss still deeper, which they do not really understand. So they feel themselves. So they're looking for outside fillers, whatever. Some of them are drinking, taking drugs, incessantly playing computer games, or being sex addicts or whatever. They're constantly trying to fill this void when we are all prone to it. Between these paths, there is another road that leads away from loss of every kind. For sacrifice and deprivation, both are quickly left behind. This is the way appointed for you now, for us. You walk this path as others walk, nor do you seem to be distinct from them, although you are indeed. Thus can you serve them while you serve yourself, and set their footsteps on the way which God has opened up to you, and them through you. Illusion still appears to cling to you that you may reach them. Yet it has stepped back, and it is not illusion that they hear you speak of, nor illusion which you bring their eyes to look on and their minds to grasp. Now can the truth which walks ahead of you speak to them through illusion, for the road leads past illusion now, while on the way you call to them that they may follow you. Illusion still appears to cling to you that you may reach them. Yet it has stepped back, and it is not illusion that they hear you speak of, nor illusion which you bring their eyes to look on and their mind to grasp. So what is talking about here is that basically when we decide, when we take on this role to be the teacher of God, when we take on this role, when we accept the role, when we accept the calling, when we accept the calling of being a minister of God, it means a messenger of God. But the difference between a bare messenger and a minister, a messenger is just passing on a message which he does not understand, whereby a minister is incorporating the message and then understands to translate it to every kind of circumstance which you may find yourself in. So illusion still appears to cling to you that you may reach them. Yet it has stepped back, and it is not illusion that they hear you speak of, nor illusion which you bring their eyes to look on and their minds to grasp. Now can the truth which walks ahead of you speak to them through illusion, for the road leads past illusion now, while on the way you call to them that they may follow you. So this is the thing. So basically all of us are called. Some of us answer the call. And while you're answering the call and you are transmitting the messages, sometimes you're experiencing misery. And I have talked about this before. We all fall prey to it. And sometimes this particular misery is not because you're being punished. It is often just simply because you chosen to experience that so you can deal better with it. You maybe have asked this question, not fully conscious, but you may have asked, I wonder how this feels. I wonder why this person cannot come out of this misery. Maybe that was a thought. This is for sure a thought I would have had. So then the universe answers, okay, so you want to know that? Are you sure you want to know that? Okay, here it goes. Then you kind of create circumstances for yourself in agreement with your higher self to experience the misery and understand why it is so difficult for those people to get out of this misery. And when you start understanding it, then you also become humble. Then you realize, it's not that easy for them. And then you also understand when you meet the next time a person like that, how to help them out of it. Because you remember their feeling, you understand what they're going through. This is what I always say in worldly terms. A thin person cannot teach a big person how to lose weight. They can, and of course sometimes it works. But in general, they don't actually understand the thing which a big person is up against. So when a big person loses weight, that is a much better teacher to teach another big person how to lose weight, because they have gone through it. They have experienced a path which worked. So that particular path which worked for them can teach the other ones. So what can I teach you? Immediately I ask myself, well, I can teach you forgiveness, because I was unable to forgive certain people in my life. As a matter of fact, until it was about 35, 40, I used to actively look for people who I could throw all my dislike at. And when I was very, very much younger, when I was still like in my 20s, I would often turn other people against this person because I thought they were bad people. That's how crazy I was, yes. And I can see it, all the young people doing that. They are going through their experiencing these kind of things where they're turning a whole group of people against another group of people just because they can, and they need to experience it. So now can the truth which walks ahead of you speak to them, because this illusion has been clinging on to you through illusion, for the road leads past illusion now. While on the way, you call to them that they may follow you. And you know how to speak their language, because you have been going through the misery. You see? All roads will lead to this one in the end. For sacrifice and deprivation are paths which absolutely lead nowhere. Choices for defeat and aims which will remain impossible. All this steps back as truth comes forth in you to lead your brothers from the ways of death and set them on the way to happiness. And this is also when you are reminding yourself that you are the light of the world. When you remind yourself that you're the light of the world, and when you remind yourself that in the other there is the light as well, that talks to them. You're like touching their soul. They cannot not feel it. They can pretend they're not feeling it, and they can act on the ego, but they have felt it. Their suffering is but illusion, yet they need a guide to lead them out of it, for they mistake illusion for the truth. And that is where you come in. Such is salvation's call, and nothing more, but also nothing less. It asks that you accept the truth and let it go before you. Let truth go before you, lighting up the path of ransom from illusion. It is not a ransom with a price. There is no cost, but only gain. Illusion can but seem to hold in chains the Holy Son of God. It is but from illusions he is saved. As they step back, he finds himself again. Walk safely now, yet carefully, because this path is new to you. So here you go again. Walk safely now, yet carefully, because this path is new to you. And you may find that you are tempted still to walk ahead of truth and let illusions be your guide. Your holy brothers have been given you to follow in your footsteps as you walk with certainty of purpose to the truth. It goes before you now that they may see something with which they can identify, something they understand to lead the way. This is, I think, why I'm doing Qigong. Because with Qigong, I'm reaching people who are willing to find themselves, who would never ever read the Course in Miracles, but where I can actually translate these teachings into the words of Qigong, into the words of movement, the words of breathing. I can translate it into that. Yet at the journey's ending, there will be no gap, no distance between truth and you. And all illusions walking in the way you traveled will be gone from you as well, with nothing left to keep the truth apart from God's completion, holy as Himself. Step back in faith and let truth lead the way. You know not where you go, but one who knows goes with you. Let him lead you with the rest. I will step back and let him lead the way, the one who knows where the way is and what I need to do. Let him lead you with the rest. Let him lead you with all the people who are together with you and ahead of you. Let him lead you, because as you open up towards them, just something happens that you lead them in the right way. When dreams are over, time has closed the door on all the things that pass, and miracles are purposeless. The Holy Son of God will make no journeys. There will be no wish to be illusion rather than the truth. And we step forth toward this as we progress along the way that truth points out to us. This is our final journey, which we make for everyone. We must not lose our way, for as truth goes before us, so it goes before our brothers who will follow us. We walk to God. Pause and reflect on this. Could any way be holier or more deserving of your effort, of your love, and of your full intent? And here the word is very important, of your full intent. This is one of the things which we are working a lot in Qigong. We're working with intent. So what is the difference between will and intent? The intent is when you have already decided what you will, and then you are basically just about to do it. This is your intent. So we walk to God. Pause and reflect on this. How do you walk to God? Could any way be holier or more deserving of your effort, of your love, and of your full intent? What way could give you more than everything, or offer you less and still content the Holy Son of God? We walk to God. We walk to love. We walk to the light. The truth that walks before us now is one with Him, is one with God, and leads us to where He has always been. What way but this could be a path that you would choose instead? I have to say, I find this paragraph really difficult, and there is a lot of rejection within me. When dreams are over, time has closed the door on all the things that pass, and miracles are purposeless. The Holy Son of God will make no journeys. There will be no wish to be illusion rather than the truth, and we step forth toward this as we progress along the way. The truth points out to us. This is our final journey, which we make for everyone. We must not lose our way, For as truth goes before us, so it goes before our brothers who will follow us. The Son of God will make no journeys. The reason it triggers things in me is because we're not making any journeys. So we are standing still. And this is like one of those things which I find hard. I find it extremely hard to stand still. I find it extremely hard to just wait. I need to be active. I need to move. I need to go towards somewhere. So for me, this is kind of, you need to sit still. What way but this could be a path that you would choose instead? Your feet are safely set upon the road which leads the world to God. Look not to ways that seem to lead you elsewhere. Dreams are not a worthy guide for you who are God's son. Forget not he has placed his hand in yours and given you your brothers in his trust, that you are worthy of his trust in you. He cannot be deceived. His trust has made your pathway certain and your goal secure. You will not fail your brothers nor yourself. And now he asks but that you think of him a while each day, that he may speak to you and tell you of his love, reminding you how great his trust, how limitless his love, in your name and his own, which are the same. We practice gladly with this thought today. I will step back and let him lead the way, for I would walk along the road to him. So this is one of those lessons which is not completely clear to me, and which will probably clarify itself to me a couple of lessons down the road. There is a few trigger points in it which I would have to contemplate deeper, because this is where I am holding on to. I'm holding on to this illusion. I don't want to let it go. I, for example, don't want to let go of me doing things. So I have to learn not to do things, just allow. I can go with the flow, but it's still kind of a movement. But to not do anything, to sit still and wait, this is very, very challenging for me. So I will step back and let him lead the way. So let's do that today. There are no specific instructions in this particular lesson of how long you should use for this particular lesson. But in yesterday's lesson, the course said you can use at least 5 minutes, better would be 15, and even better would be 30 minutes, both in the morning and in the evening. So you choose which lesson is more suited. I am suggesting this one, which is a longer one. Here you have got a shorter one, and here you have got the whole list of lessons which you can choose from randomly, and just try to apply today's idea to it, and then let me know how it goes. Love, light, and chi to you.